Hello, today I'm going to talk about three brains. Yes, you heard me correctly. I will be talking about three brains. So you may be wondering, three brains, what does that even mean? We only have one brain. Well, there's this idea that we have three different types of brain in our one brain, like three different functions our brain manages. And there are terms for these three brains in science, which are reptilian brain, mammalian brain, and human brain. So, reptilian brain is considered to be very old and ancient brain, and it's more animalistic in nature. And if you ever observe a reptile like crocodile or a snake, these kind of behavior is what governs from the reptilian brain. And then there's another brain which is mammalian brain, where it's one example of that is horse. So there you find emotions in those kind of animals, and that's mammalian brain. And in human brain, then the thinking faculty comes in, where a human being can rationally analyze things, rationally think about things and what to do, and that's more recent brain in terms of human evolution. So here, uh, in terms of metaphysics, these three brains have their connections with intellect, emotion, sensation or intellect, or sensation or instinct. So the brain which is involved in thoughts or rationally thinking or whatever we consider as intellectual thoughts, these are governed by intellectual brain or a human brain. And there's another brain which is emotional brain, which governs all sorts of emotions we experience. And we have a wide range of emotions which is governed by this emotional brain. So in science, corresponding to this emotional brain, we have this mammalian brain. And then there's a third type of brain which is related to reflexes, instinct. So this brain you can call instinctive brain or sometimes sexual brain, because it governs your sexual functions in the body. So related to reflexes, reflex brain. And corresponding to this, we have reptilian brain. So you always have this experience where you are having thoughts, or you're feeling something, or you are having some reflexes, for example vomiting or coughing, or some instinctive reaction where you touch something hot to your hand, retracts from it. So this is related to more instinctive brain. Or yeah, so this, you can all observe your own behaviors, and you can categorize your behaviors, thoughts, emotions and sensations in different categories, and that relates to these three brains: intellectual, emotional and instinctive brain. And what an intellectual brain can do cannot be performed by emotional brain. So for example, if you were to think about any topic or subject rationally, you cannot use your feelings. So they're clearly different functions in one brain, or different kind of different three brains which functions differently than each other. They do not function. One brain cannot function the way the other brain works. Similarly, intellectual brain cannot feel or think. So when you are analyzing something, it needs to come from your heart or from your emotions, or yeah, it cannot come from your intellect can only analyze, but it cannot produce feelings. So here I briefly talk about these three different brains, and I hope this information helps. And in terms of in my previous videos, I mentioned self-observation of thoughts, emotions, and instincts or sensations. So you can always observe. So when you observe your thoughts, that's governed by your intellectual brain. And when you observe your emotions, that's governed by your emotional brain. And when you observe your sensations or reflexes, that is governed by your instinctive or reflex brain. So in your practice of self-observation, you can also observe the type of brain which is involved at a particular moment. So thank you for listening. I will talk about other topics in my next videos.